happy to have you on board. I was excited when I heard we're going to spend a little bit of time together. Just a quick intro, Steve, for those people watching. You may or may not know Steve has just written a brand new book called Sociable. Pretty much the ins and outs, the how-to, everything you wanted to know about social media but were afraid to ask. And Steve's also a co-founder of Ubitor. I love that name, Steve. I've had to practice it for the last few days. It's one of the largest website providers for realtors. Is that correct, Steve?
Yep.
Yeah. Steve, like I mentioned to you earlier, I read a lot of books, and I'm pretty picky in terms of what I read, and I found it really encouraging that I could go onto your site, sociablebook.com, and I could read the first chapter. You can also listen to it. And if the rest of the book is anything like the first chapter, I'm excited. I'm waiting to get it in the mail. I ordered it from Amazon.com. So nice. Enough about that. Just a quick little intro here, Steve, for the audience that I think is going to be watching this. I think it's good. We'll address the rookie, the guy who maybe he's a realtor, maybe he's a business owner, or he's thinking of starting a business, and he's heard about Twitter. He's maybe, his kids are on Facebook, but he's really done nothing with it. So I guess the question would be, why should he even be concerned to get involved with it, and how would he do it?
So I guess the why you should be concerned with Twitter is basically a fantastic way to open lines of communication with people, basically to create that relationship, to get to know them, learn about who they are, what they do, right, their thoughts and opinions on certain things. Because really, I'm stealing this quote from my co-author's father, but he said, the relationship is the deal. And I believe that, where once you get to know somebody, getting them as a client is easy. Once you've got that relationship and you've talked about whatever it is you talk about in your life, karate, your dog, mortgage rates, whatever's going on in your world,
right,
is the, creating that relationship. So Twitter is basically a tool that puts cocktail parties kind of on steroids. It allows you to meet lots of people from all over the world that are interested in similar things that you're interested in, and just sort of create
Facebook,
that
Twitter,
communication.
Any preferences if someone were starting? Where should they start?
I think they should be on Facebook for sure. It's the biggest out there. 350 million, I think, is their latest count. So basically all of the U.S. and Canada plus a little bit more. Which is, significant numbers. It's a very international thing, but I think having a presence on Facebook is important.
Well, it's funny, Steve. I think it was yesterday I heard that people are searching more on Facebook for things now than they are Google.
Yeah, well, that's what they call social search, where, what Google thinks of a certain product is one thing, but what your friends and colleagues and, online friends think of a certain product is more important.
Right.
And the sort of the social search is becoming, for like at Ubitor. If you Google Ubitor, you're going to get my website and a few, my blog posts and videos of me, but it's a lot to do with, it's the polish that we're putting out there. It's our marketing. But if you go to search.twitter.com or Facebook search, you're going to get realtors talking about Ubitor. And that's way more powerful to talk to them about what they think of the product than talking to me. Because of course I love my product. Of course I'm positive about my product, but getting it from a person using it, that's the real value. And I think that's why search is becoming so huge in things like Twitter and Facebook, because you're communicating directly with the end user, the consumer.
How do you suggest they get started?
Getting on Facebook, Twitter, both the same. Open your accounts, get online, and just basically get started. The best advice I could give anybody is to work to do something, do stuff for other people. Don't worry about pushing your product or your service or your listings or your open house, because nobody cares, right? Just get involved in the conversation, help other people with their problem, answer their questions, just get involved with them, and it'll work for you in return, where people are trying to get involved in your world and help you do whatever it is you're doing. It sort of naturally happens. If you go in there and start using it like a blowhorn, like when realtors, when they flyer 10,000 houses in a neighborhood, you can't use Twitter or Facebook like that. You can't just blast it like it's a megaphone and everybody's listening, because people will just stop following you on Twitter or they'll unfriend you on Facebook and they never hear from you again.
Right.
So the consumer really has the power. So it's all about being of value, helping people do whatever it is that they're trying to do.
How do you determine who you add? Like, where are you starting? What do you suggest?
For me on Facebook, I'll accept pretty much anybody. If they're finding me on Facebook, I'm pretty open with it. It takes a lot for me not to accept somebody. The people that I go and actually add is usually people that I've met in real life, talked to on Twitter, but I've had some sort of contact with them. It's rare that I just sort of out of nowhere add somebody. It does happen a little bit, but it's not. It's usually because I've chatted with them on the phone or a text or Twitter or something, and I've gone digging for them on Facebook to learn more about who they are and what they do. When you're getting started on both of them, I think you can just put your email address in, and it'll search through your Gmail account or your Hotmail account and show you your friends on these tools that you're people you're already talking with. So it kind of gives you a bit of a hand that way. Okay. That usually gives you a good start. When we did the book launch for Sociable, we had about 550 people show up to a bar down in Yaletown, and we only promoted the event using Twitter, Facebook, Meetup.com, and blogs and video. And over 550 people came. Like, my ex-girlfriend's father came. At Vancouver College, my old high school guys that graduated with my older or younger brothers came. And just because the tool that, they're kind of paying attention to me on Facebook, I guess, and they see this event, it's about a book, and they're interested enough that they show up. But there's no flyers, there's no phone calls, there's no nothing. We didn't even do a press release. We just use these tools and can get great value and great response from them if people want to get involved.
I think the key there is great value for people that are just starting it or haven't started it yet. They're probably used to the old marketing methods, flyers or different ads. This definitely is a cost-efficient way of getting your name out there.
It's really about educating people on what it is that you do. And what's going on in the world, making them, for realtors especially, making them think that you're a smart realtor, that you understand the market, that you know what's going on. It's not, here's my listing or here's my open house, or you can do that a little bit, I guess, but it's more about like talking to people about why the change in mortgage rates is good or bad, or the change in parking meter prices or times is good or bad for certain areas, or certain buildings strata council rules and what's going on in that world. And just so people think, wow, this guy's really understands a very tight market, obviously knows what's going on in that market. And it's not about pushing, use my services. They just get to understand that you're a smart guy. You know what you're doing. You know that market. You're obviously living in that market. I talk a lot about like what I'm doing, where I'm going, things charity events I'm at, Olympic stuff that's going on now, just sort of life. And it allows me to create that relationship and chat with people that are interested in chatting about me. Like, I've taken a picture, I'm sitting here with my dog here. I've taken a picture of the dog before saying like she needs a haircut or something. And that triggers Irish setter people to come out of nowhere and start talking about Irish setters. And, I don't know, it's tough to put your thumb on what's valuable or not, but it's all back down to creating that relationship of just having that chat. It's like a cocktail party, having that chat and sort of getting to know somebody. And the relationship, like I said, the relationship is the deal. Once you know somebody and have got that relationship with them, you can do really cool things, and business will transpire from that.